The opportunity is chicken.
The opportunity is sunflowers.
The opportunity is honey.
The opportunity is community.
The opportunity is youth.
The opportunity is distribution.
The opportunity is Africa Eats.
It is called post-harvest losses. It is more than $345 billion a year, more than the food aid provided to sub-Saharan Africa for the last decade.
African women are enterprising, but African women lack economic empowerment.
The trouble is, there's been overfishing, and today the little fish is all finished.
Geoffrey introduced her to AGRF and she started saving. As a widow, she has a permanent house.
We've been able to increase the revenue of our farmers, and €7 is the middle income class in Tanzania.
Mother Nature is under attack by the very people she feeds every day.
We started talking, and he told me he has been standing there for 8 hours without selling a single jar of his honey.
Handcrafted, that is made by the locals, designed, built, sold for local consumption.
The opportunity is Africa Eats.
But again, that's the goal. The goal is not to flip these companies, it's to have real impact in at least a whole country, if not a whole region, if not a whole continent. So let's jump over to Africa, right? You saw 4 companies from Africa present today, 3 of them in agriculture. Well, it turns out that Fledge has done a lot of work in Africa in agriculture. We have 20 graduates who all work with smallholder farmers. They're in 9, 10 different countries. It's on the map up there. What they have in common is that, like Chicken Basket or Ore Eggs, they don't just help themselves. They're not just trying to be the next Tyson chicken. They're trying to actually improve incomes for the whole community so that more people can afford everything, not just to eat. All right, so the plan is to take those companies, wrap them in a holding company, add 10 million in growth capital, and make them much bigger. So 10 million to start with. These companies collectively in 2018 did over $3 million in revenue, worked with something like 30,000 farmers collectively. Collectively, they're something of substance. They're big, right? They're worthy of attention of institutions. Individually, they're still small. But what we think is, given 10 million in capital and a few years of growth, we'll be big enough to go public with this entity. And then we'll take that money and we'll get them bigger and bigger and bigger and add more companies in and so forth, until within 5 or 10 years we have something that not only has a big impact across the continent, feeding 1 billion people, but also is then an investment that any of you can make because it's a public company. And you can then invest in the growth of Africa, which is something we didn't have when China pulled 500 million people out of poverty. There was no company you could really invest in that had that reach. Same thing in India. There's 450 million middle class in India now, but none of us have anything in our stock portfolio that's helping grow that growth. And so the goal here is to do this in Africa, where we can take our capital. We need to bring the capital to the poor people. That's how you fix this problem. And so that's the goal. That's what Africa Eats is about.
When you come across Tanzania, you might find this situation. It is not only happening in Tanzania, but in most African countries. It is called post-harvest losses. The figure, the 48% you see, is valued at more than $7 billion in Tanzania alone. And in sub-Saharan Africa, it is more than $345 billion a year, more than the food aid provided to sub-Saharan Africa for the last decade. My name is Elia Timoteo, the founder of East Africa Fruits, the company that finds profitable opportunity, eliminating fruits and vegetables waste, and increase income to small-scale farmers in Tanzania.
Women are the leading labor force in agriculture. About 54% of the women in Tanzania depend on agriculture for their survival. That being said, we know African women are hardworking. African women are enterprising, but African women lack economic empowerment. My name is Haikamte, a founder and managing director of Golden Pots Limited, that partners with women to eradicate hunger, poverty, and malnutrition with a bag of maize.
When I was a little child, my grandfather taught me how to fish. Fishing is what my grandfather did, his grandfather, and great-grandfather. The trouble is, over the past 20 years, there's been overfishing in Lake Victoria. And today, the little fish is all finished. With this loss, 1.5 million people have lost jobs in the fishing industry. And Ugandans have lost the local affordable source of proteins, leading to 1 in 3 children suffering from protein-related malnutrition. In 2013, I said enough was enough. I quit my medical job and dedicated my entire life in recreating the fishing industry in Uganda and resupply the country with fish. In the last 3 years, we have trained 1,000 people in the fishing community, making them become fish farmers and not fish hunters. We formulated a low-cost quality fish feed using locally available raw materials, all got within Lake Victoria. To further reduce the cost of fish farming, we produce our own fingerlings. I'm Emmanuel Joel, founder of Josie. Thank you very much.
We process, we brand, and we supply this high-quality cooking oil half of the price of our competitors. To date, we are working with 317 farmers, out of which 90% of these farmers are women. We've been able to increase the revenue of our farmers from just under €2 per day to €7 per day. And €7 is the middle income class in Tanzania. We have done all this, and as a company, we've gained revenue. We've been able to grow as a company from €100,000 in year 1 to €300,000 in year 2. And we are on track to triple this amount by 2020.
Mother Nature is under attack by the very people she feeds every day. 90% of Uganda's energy comes from biomass. Only 1% from electricity. Uganda is the size of Britain. But it consumes more charcoal than the whole of the European Union countries combined. My name is Okoth Geoffrey Yoga. I'm fixing this problem.
Zamgot, the first ever commercial scale aggregator, processor, and distributor of goat meat and other products in Zambia. According to the World Bank, Zambia's rural poverty rate is a crazily high 80%. In a world of entrepreneurs, a world of problem solvers like you and me, such levels of rural poverty should be a thing of the past.
Lillian. She's called Team Lillian. Lillian is under Geoffrey, so Lillian is a widow. We found her in 2018. Good enough, her husband had left her some land, but she wasn't having money to buy input, so Geoffrey introduced her to AGRF, and she started saving. She planted about 3 acres, and she has built a house which is somewhere there. As a widow, she has a permanent house. She used to do farming in a very small way. She was a poor person. That was according to him. But ever since she joined AGRF, she has now started doing agriculture as a business.
Welcome to Honey Products Limited, where we fight poverty and deforestation through jars of honey. My name is Matthew Dunga, co-founder of Honey Products Limited.
Right over there is Chizo Mhango, my fellow co-founder. We test for moisture content in the honey. As you can see, that is called a honey refractometer, where we measure the moisture content in the honey. So there it is, you've seen what we do. Next for us is more investment in beekeeping equipment, storage facilities, packaging materials, and honey collection investments.
Open fire cooking, 3-stone open fire cooking, is literally cooking millions of families around the world right in front of our own eyes. According to World Health Organization, it kills about 4 million people. These are mostly children under 5 years of age. If you are a child that is growing up in my former village, you are exposed to almost 2 packs of a cigarette every day because of cooking condition. I wanted to do something. But to build affordable, simple stove that could be made locally. You're probably wondering, you heard about a lot of stove companies, and what sets this apart? Handcrafted, Ethiopian pride, that is made by the locals, designed, built, sold for local consumption. It has a combustion chamber that is made from clay soil, usually is done by women in different villages. The cladding, which is the exterior part, is done by the local craftsmen. You put these two together, you got the stove that costs less than $10, gives an opportunity for extremely impoverished villagers. We managed to build, sell, and deliver over 200,000 of this stove, and it's still counting.
The opportunity is chicken.
The opportunity is sunflowers.
The opportunity is honey.
The opportunity is community.
Youth.
Distribution. The opportunity is Africa Eats.